is the day ruled by Mercury. Mercury energy is all about perception and communication. And we just came out of a retrograde. So whenever a planet is in retrograde, the energy of that planet is taken into review, okay? So that you can see, how am I perceiving things? How do I communicate? And what's not working to go forward? And because that retrograde happened in the middle of eclipse season and also with solstice, this was permanent closing of doors. So you probably did a whole lot of shedding. And what I'm hearing, like feedback from my clients in private sessions, is that in that shedding process, it feels like they let so much go that they now are like, what do I need to pull in going forward, because they've shed so much and then the tree dies, right? But it's literally impossible for that to happen for you. You are a divine spirit having a human experience. And so the shedding process is actually what's necessary to create room for what's meant for you. So these shifts, these huge shifts like eclipse season and planetary shifts, like right now Neptune's going to be going into retrograde also. So the energy of Neptune is like the fantasy self, like how do we dream? And so just feel into those energies. But Wednesday is the day ruled by Mercury. And so I love teaching meditation class on a Wednesday night because everyone's perception is unique to you, just like your fingerprint, right? But how do we communicate our perception so that we can say, I know I am a divine, unique, magnificent being, but I also see you as that. But I know that you may not see things as I see things because this is my perception. But I'm going to communicate in such a way that we can jive, right? And if someone is jiving at a different frequency that's not meant for you, you can't force it. So that's part of the shedding process too, to say, I'm not going to hold on to this because I don't need a security blanket by way of people or toxic experiences to feel like I'm still somebody. Let's see if anybody has any questions. Aw, my daughter joined. Hi, baby girl. And don't be checking out now. I love you. And I love you too, beautiful sister, all the way from Minnesota. Okay, so when you guys send requests to be on the live, it means that you'll actually be shown on the video with me, just a heads up. Because I surprised a woman once by letting her, and she was in bed. So it kind of like freaked her out a little bit. So just so you know, you're already on, you don't have to send a request. Sending a request means that you'll be shown too. Hi, Kyle. Everybody say hi, Kyle.
Hi, Kyle.
See, Kyle, you're missed. Okay, so.
Are those free?
What?
Your live videos?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you'll still come here. I reprimanded local people last week, and they're in here this week. I was like, come on, y'all. Thank you for coming. I love you. Yes, they are. Because Amanda is so generous, the owner of the studio. She's so generous, and she knows that I have a lot of people that wish they could be in Arizona. And so this is convenient. I can no longer teach meditation privately. I used to teach meditation privately, but I'm booked literally like a month out with private sessions. So teaching meditation privately really isn't feasible for me anymore. So she is so generous of spirit.
For a month?
Yeah.
So I wanted to book with you, so I'm gonna have to wait a month?
Until August, yeah. Sorry.
That's not weird.
I mean, I could put you on a wait list. I do have a wait list for cancellations.
Oh, okay, sweet.
So the energy that I was feeling into the group before I came in here is a lot of, because you created that space, right? You've done a lot of shedding. Now, does that resonate with everyone in here, or am I off track? Okay. So when we shed a lot of space, we create space, right? And something has to fill that space. And so a lot of times, because it's filled with light now, because what you've done is increased your own vibration and frequency, that your light has also increased. It leaves you open to be a target for lower energy frequencies, for psychic attack. And I'm not trying to scare anyone, because there are a lot of energy vampires that want to feed off of that higher frequency, because as a source, it's delicious, right? So cutting cords is really important. How do we know that someone's corded into us? If after you've shared space with someone you feel exhausted, that's a really good indicator that they're corded into you as an energetic source. And so this can even happen sometimes subconsciously, without even their knowing. They just know that you are an amazing energy and they want to tap into it. So even just the thought or that subtle feel, they can do that. Sometimes we do that unknowingly for our children or for those closest to us, our significant others, spouses, best friends, because we want to take their pain for them, right? They're going through something really horrific and we want to save them in those experiences. So we start processing for them and we create these etheric ties and cords, and it's not okay, because we're all sovereign beings. And so literally, I keep my energy so clean, literally daily, I'm cleaning it up. So like my daughter is on here, but I'm constantly making sure I'm not corded into my daughter so that she can have her own independent experiences and I have mine. We can't save someone from deeper experiences. And if you call it by its ugliest name, it's actually easier to stop doing it. Like if I told you, you can't rob someone of the deeper experiences, because that's actually what helps elevate them into ascension and evolution. Like you're robbing them of experiences that help them evolve. That sounds ugly, right? Instead of the whole like, why is people pleasing such an ugly thing? Like I'm just pleasing people, right? But if you call it like gratification hog, that sounds super ugly, right? Like you're robbing them of experiences that they want to have too. They're trying to do something for you, let them do it. Receive. So receiving, so let someone have their experiences. Like literally the most powerful thing that you can do is hold space for someone. And holding space doesn't mean processing it for them. It means, I see you. Wow, you feel really sad right now. You feel really angry right now. And really it's a win-win, because you're showing them, I see you. I know that. And I can be a safe container for you to let it out, right? So then that's really all anybody wants in the human experience, is to be seen and to have felt understood and felt cared for, right? And then you get the huge win, because you're actually expressing your empathic gifts. I feel what you're feeling. And every time you honor those gifts, it fine-tunes them and increases your ability to do that. So it's win-win. Like, why wouldn't you want to do that? And we're all sovereign beings and we're walking this path. So some people are meant to stay for the long haul, some people aren't. You will outgrow a whole lot of people. And so the shedding process can feel bittersweet, right? Like, ooh, what's coming? I'm excited. Or it could feel like you're in free fall, like, oh my God, I just like let go of all of this stuff, you know? So I really feel like cord cutting would be really good to do tonight. Another way you can tell that someone is corded into you is if when their number comes up on your caller ID, you're like, ah. So they could be across country and tapped into you. You don't have to just share space with them. It could be energetic space. Or you think about them and all of a sudden they call. A lot of times, you know, are you the sender or the receiver of that information, or is there some kind of connection? So you can just say, I released this cord, just to make sure it's clean. Any questions about that?
Good stuff.
Good. I like a good stuff. Any questions here on the web? Kyle says hi back. Any questions coming from this end? Anyone? Because we're about to meditate if there's no questions. So just get yourself really comfortable. And I'm going to turn the camera to the fireplace so you're not all up in my grill. But I just still love you all. Okay. So rule of thumb is that inhale is not as long as your exhale, right? So if your inhale is like 4 seconds, let the exhale be 6, 8, 10. This is how you slip into slower brain waves really fast. You can do it literally like a knob, like a light switch. You can do that by holding and sustaining the breath. If you can pause between the inhale and exhale, even better, but that's not necessary. I want you to be so comfortable that it just feels organic. I don't want it to feel forced. I don't even want you to count your breaths. I just want you to feel into it. So like this is the inhale. This is the exhale. Get my point? So the longer and slower the exhale is, the deeper the brain waves go, right? So like right now, the active listening and communication, you're actually in beta. And beta is the most busy brain, right? This is where you're actively learning, communicating, storing information, and remembering really is what I'm hoping that you're doing. Not storing shit, but like your soul is remembering like, oh yeah, I know how to do that, okay. And then alpha is like the next level of relaxation. Alpha is what you're in when you're listening to music, reading a book. It feels good, right? And then you get down into theta. Theta is like meditation, that gentle sleep, what you're in when you're being massaged, what you're in when you're having a sound bath. That's really good. And then delta is the deepest relaxation. And so I know Mike gets into delta when he's in my classes. And that's where literally it'll appear as if you're asleep. And that's the deepest and slowest brain waves. And that's a good place to be because delta is when the parasympathetic switches on. And that's when the body starts repairing itself. So that's like the deepest and slowest. So that breath actually starts beneath the navel, and then you're going to pull it up. So the shoulders and neck are not involved with deep breathing. If the shoulders and neck ever get involved with breathing, it's because you're in a trauma response or your cortisol levels are too high. Because there's a whole group of core muscles that involuntarily contract when cortisol levels rise, and it forces shallow breathing. So really, it's going to start feeling uncomfortable at first for you to force the deeper breath through the diaphragm. But actually, that's like a light switch for the parasympathetic. So when the parasympathetic nervous system normally only turns on in that delta state, you can actually do that in all of your waking hours. Just by taking a deep breath, checking into the present moment, it's like a light switch. So the body just right away is like, hey, what's going on? Where is she stressed? Here's a shot of oxytocin, serotonin, which is your own feel-good chemicals, right? That's why it feels phenomenal when you take that deep breath. I don't need Prozac. So it's good stuff. Any questions? None? Awesome. So we're going to do, this is a meditation that I was given in a private session on Tuesday. And I love how Spirit gives me new stuff that I've never done before, and it felt really good. And so when I was checking in with the energy, seeing what I should do tonight, like what was going on in the collective, I kept hearing to do this. So I think you're going to be jazzed about it. Laying down would be awesome for this, and getting yourself like more into like a starfish, like really relax the legs, relax the sides. And really shake your shoulders a little bit, like really kind of wiggle your hips too, like really get yourself settled and balanced so that nothing feels off kilter, so that you're really, really held in the space that you're in. So allow the body to be anchored by the head, the hands, and the heels. And feel all of the space between those points softening. Feel the breath freely moving from the heels to the head, from the head to the hands, softening. The more fully the soul can occupy that space. And so feel the fingertips in the toes, in the face, and move that vibration to the deeper spaces of the body. Allow the body to feel boneless, soft, and the hips gently roll open, and the shoulders gently roll open, finding their way to the floor and away from the ears. And I want you to imagine that you have a nose directly in the center of your chest. And you're going to draw the breath into the heart. And I want you to infuse this breath with a brilliant light. This light is the light that comes from Source. And it can be any color you wish. It is brilliant and beautiful. And you can feel this light filling the heart with every breath. And every exhale just flushes the heart, removes anything congesting your heart space, any grief, any judgment, any jealousy, guardedness, any fear, any heaviness that's not even yours that you're processing for the collective. Let every exhale usher out anything that is no longer serving you. This is beautiful. I can feel the vibration in the room. And so now let's join our heart breath as one unified energy. Let's take a deep, deep breath into the heart and release with an audible sigh. We are one. Now on this next breath, I want you to draw that heart breath in and swirl it in a clockwise direction. So it'll start from the base of the neck, going down the left side of the rib cage, the base of the rib cage, up the right, to the base of the neck, the center of the breastbone, and then exiting the spine in the upper middle back between the shoulder blades. And feel the heart breath and light flushing the heart chakra. And you can feel the vibration of you now expanding beyond the physical self. The heart chakra is the only chakra that is infinite. So there is not a one human walking this earth whose heart chakra is fully open to its potential. Because infinite means unfathomable, beyond measure. Our hearts are literally unfathomable. This is the true power of the heart. Now breathing in and out of the heart, I want you to imagine that light, like the ever-dormant potential of a volcano. It feels fiery. It feels powerful. And you can feel it just brewing there, like this passion and heat. This is the ever-dormant potential of true alchemy. And just feel it there, ever present. And now I want you to imagine one person that calls you, and when you see their name on your phone, you can feel literally your body tighten. It doesn't matter if they are your friend, co-worker. Imagine that person and feel in your body where that energy is stored. Where do you feel them? And now I want you to breathe into the heart and send just a little bit of that fire, that dormant potential, like a beautiful comet, this fiery ball of energy, right into that spot in your body where you're holding energy for that other person. And you can feel it and see it shooting through your body like a comet about to hit the planet, that inner universe of you. And when it hits that space, it creates a crater and it severs the etheric cord that is attached to you. Imagine that etheric cord burning back to its source. Relieving you, liberating you. And now this crater filling with that light, that heart light, and allowing that heart light and breath to fill that crater, to repair that space. And feel the power of you. Feel gratitude for yourself. It's okay to feel emotional because I can feel some emotion moving through the room. It's okay. This does not admonish love for those that we sever cords with and connections with. It actually opens you to a greater level of compassion for that person, because now you can actually hold space for them in a healthy, conscious way. Now I want you to imagine someone that you have shared space with recently, that you literally held your tongue with, but then left the place feeling tired, exhausted, maybe a twinge of regret, maybe even a twinge of self-betrayal. And feel in your body where you are holding that. And the same way we just did, I want you to create this power powerful ball of energy coming from the heart, and like a comet, shoot it right into that space in your body where you're holding that energy. And see it blazing through your body, even creating a tail like a comet. And then lands, creating a crater and severing that etheric cord and energetic connection. And imagine that etheric cord burning back to its source. If you can imagine, like that fuse on a stick of dynamite, it just goes back to its own source. And then you fill that crater with your heart breath and light, reclaiming that sacred space for yourself, replenishing your own sacred temple, filling your own well, because you are that power. Now I want you to imagine the closest person to you that may be going through a lot of emotional, mental, or spiritual turmoil right now. The person that you are so desperately wishing to save. And feel where you're holding space for that person in your body. And again, create a beautiful comet. And for a lot of you, it's in the heart. I can feel it. And it's okay to expand that dormant energy. And you can create little mini comets into that same space where you're holding that dormant power. You'll feel it expand your heart when you do that. They deserve to be free. You deserve to be free. And feel it severing those cords and ties, and allow them to burn back to their source. Feel how effortless the breath feels now. And allow the heart breath and light to spill into those newly opened spaces. Now I want you to imagine a betrayal. Someone you feel whom you love so much but betrayed you. So many times we create from conflict. We need that polarity and agitation to grow. And so it's okay to sever ties with this energy. You no longer have to hold this pain. Feel where you have it in your body. And send a beautiful ball of power, power, power into that space. But remember, this is coming from your heart. You are offering not only yourself, but this other party compassion, so that you can have a greater perspective and forgiveness. Severing these ties, creating a crater where that pain once existed, burning those ties back to its source. And filling that crater with heart, breath, and light. I can feel so much emotion in the room, and it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Breathe into that. The greatest gift of self-love is permission. Permission to feel everything that you're feeling right now. You have literally opened yourself wider to move the purification of tears and emotion through your body. Allow yourself to feel it. If it's rage, it's okay to feel rage. It's okay to feel angry, to say that wasn't okay, but I'm letting this rage go because it's not ever going to happen again. I love myself better. And if I forget, I hold no shame over doing this again, because I learn every single time. My experiences do not define me, they refine me. You are that stone becoming a gem, constantly polished by your experiences. There is no one like you. And that extra vibrating that you feel in those lower spaces, that is the increase of your frequency. This is normal. So I want you now to just sit in that for a minute. Feel it. It's not anxiety. All of those times that frequency bumped against those traumas that you had stored in your body and you thought you had anxiety. This is not anxiety. This is the real you doing the happy dance inside your earth suit. Feel the freedom and liberation of that energy. Feel that dormant potential of that energy to transmute any energy back to love. And you free yourself with every breath. With every witnessing. And don't ever look away. Now what I want you to do with this power in the heart is to feel it now sparking through the body. Just like bubbling lava, or like the tail of a comet where it's constant sparks, or like a sparkler moving through the body. And now it is literally just burning off anything that you are ready to let go of. It can move as slow as you need. You can feel the heat and power of it moving through your body. Now that you have reclaimed this temple, I want you now to call back your soul fragments. Call back any soul fragments, and you do that just by saying it. I call back all my soul fragments lost in these connections. And you can say it aloud if you feel comfortable, or to yourself. I recognize myself as whole. I reclaim my birthright. So feel that power moving through your body. Feel it filling every curve, every corner, every crack. And every exhale is a release. If you need it to be a sigh so that it has more power, do that. Whatever spirit calls you to do. If you need to hum, growl, ha, cry, laugh. If you need power or release, let it move through your body. When the entire body is full of this power, this heart, breath, and light, this dormant fire and potential, I want you to breathe into the heart, but feel the heart as an open cauldron, like looking down into the mouth of a volcano. And you could just see it bubbling and spitting all of this power in the center of your heart. And its depths are completely unfathomable. You have no earthly idea how deep this power goes. And just allow that fire, that lava to spit all around you. And every drop purifies your aura and shields you. And so allow it to at least cover your outstretched arms, really creating this egg of dormant potential energy that just encases you. Feel it, and any little residual chords or etheric connections that may have been missed, just feel them sizzling off of your body. You are Teflon. You are pure power. Do not fear your own power. I can feel some of you in here, your solar plexus is really agitated and triggered right now. So that's at the base of the sternum, the high stomach. Just breathe into that for a moment. Why am I bracing myself here? What am I afraid of? It's okay for me to be powerful. This is my birthright. We all get to be powerful. We all get to be powerful. Even in stillness, you are pure power. And so being shielded this way, every single thing that you are experiencing right now is just you. So just take a moment to offer yourself gratitude. Thank you. Thank you for choosing you. I love you. And remind yourself that and say it aloud if you need. I am love. I am power. My reach is unfathomable. Any thoughts that are trying to creep in, just burn them off. Any tapping on your shoulder of self-doubt or distraction, just burn it off. And feel yourself now in full surrender. Letting that vibration and power move through your body. That pulse that's unlike the heartbeat. That feels electric. And you can start to bring your awareness back into this space, connecting with the sounds, the smells, the feels. And if you need, you can put your palms on your body and just feel how different you may feel. More powerful. And at your own pace, uncovering your eyes. And I'm just gonna walk around with some Palo Santo to get you grounded back in this space. It can be really easy to feel ungrounded when you become more spirit than human for a minute. So you can reanimate the body, wiggling the fingers and the toes and rocking your head side to side. Rocking your hips side to side. A lot of times physical aches can just miraculously disappear when you cut cords. Do not be surprised if those people that you've severed cords with reach out to you. Even the most unconscious of people are very aware so when an energetic source is retracted, it is usually felt. So they may reach out to you, but just remember, keep it clean. When you have a consciousness around it makes it easier to not allow it to happen. And you can do that by, I call it reporting the weather. And that's the same energy that I talked about, witnessing, right? You feel really sad right now. Oh, sorry. So like reporting the weather, telling people, I know you feel like this. I know you feel really angry right now. You feel really sad right now. Just witnessing them makes them hold it themselves. And people do need to learn to be their own energetic source. So. I believe everyone on the live is probably laying down just like everyone in the room is. So yeah, just take your time. No rush getting up. When you create energetic space like that and you get that frequency back, you can feel kind of drunk when you come to the sitting position, feel a little dizzy, ungrounded, and that's very normal. That's why chocolate's in the lobby. Does anyone have any questions?
What do you mean when you're meditating and you see like white flashes of light?
Light is really beautiful.
Is what?
So light is really beautiful. You allowed yourself to surrender enough that in your vision and in your higher vision, you were having light.
They're just little flashes though.
It doesn't matter if they're little or big, or don't let the mind try to explain it. It's a beautiful gift. So say, I received this, thank you. That's phenomenal, yeah. You've allowed yourself to relax enough to have those experiences. That's beautiful. And you'll see it the more that it happens. There may be a pattern to it, like specific colors of light when you're meditating and you're going through very specific energies or healing specific
How about when you're
parts.
just like awake, you know, you're meditating?
And you see lights.
Yeah,
Are your eyes closed or open?
they're open. Like I'm in the dark, I'm in my room, it's pitch black, and I see like little bright lights.
Well, those are probably orbs then.
Orbs? What's that?
Orbs of light, spiritual energy, frequency. Because we see frequency sometimes as light or like the geometry, disturbances in the matter. Because this is not dead space, right? This is all energy. And there's no such thing as an inanimate object.
Yeah,
So-
when I'm meditating and I open my eyes, I feel like I'm dreaming. I feel like this is not real.
It's not.
Yeah, so it's crazy. I don't know how it is with the rest
That's
of
when things become most real.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
unreal, it's crazy. But I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy good.
Yeah.
I'm with you there, sister. Does anyone on the live have questions? I think they're all asleep. Any questions? Any other questions in here?
I have, before I came to this class, I was having just a moment where I was just like, I was asking this question that you were just saying, I was like, is this really real? Like, is this all happening right now? And like, I said it out loud a few times and I was just laughing with my sister and my niece. Because it was just a weird type of energy I picked up. I don't know if I was picking up on the energy here, but it was very surreal what I was picking up on. Yeah, I just thought I'd share that.
And everything is connected. So we're creating it like in real time, and you become more aware of it when you stay present. So if you can stay present, keep yourself anchored in your body and in the now, right? Like I always say the quickest way and easiest way to anchor yourself in the present is to first engage the physical senses, right? How does it look? How does it sound? How does it smell? How does it feel? Like the tactile feel of it. And then go that last step inward. How do I feel? Right? Like the feel of it. And then take a deep breath from that space, and it blasts you wide open. It's beautiful. And if you could do that like once a day, you'll start craving it, because that's when you get to commune with the real you. And out here, you start to realize like, whoa, like I'm creating all of this. It's phenomenal.
It's exciting.
It's super exciting.
Yeah.
I'm with you. It is super exciting. Thank you for sharing that, Lorena. Thank you, Daisy. Any other questions, comments, complaints? No? Kimberly says, thank you. Don't even know how I got here, but I went with it. Yay, good. Thank you, beautiful sister. So, I want to thank you all for trusting me, for guiding you and holding space for you. I appreciate you. You are all phenomenal and brilliant beings, powerful and brilliant beings. Namaste. I love you all. I'm like this stream of energy going back and forth. I was like, look, nobody even wanted to sit in this half of the room. They were like, nah, we're gonna leave them. Kyle, you are so welcome. Sending you hugs. Kimberly, I appreciate you too. Namaste.